Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
Nobody's walking out on this fun, old-fashioned family Christmas. No, we're all in this together.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Fragile. It must be Italian.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
I didn't know you had elves working here.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. The first in our every December holiday-themed episodes.
Hooray.
We do it every year. I think we have a new intro. Not a new intro. I think we have a Christmas one, though.
Break out the sleigh bells.
I think there's like an elf clip in there. I don't remember.
A clip of an elf or from the movie Elf?
From the movie Elf.
Okay. My festive winter hat is making it hard to hear in the... Oh, I'm having all kinds of problems. There we go. That's better.
You're goddamn mess.
I am... what do they call it? A dumpster fire? It's a good night for a dumpster fire out there.
If you want to be a dumpster fire.
I don't want to be a dumpster fire. I just am what I am. I am what I am. The dog's over here.
I was looking for the cat.
Oh.
See if they're having a showdown.
No, not yet. Anyway, happy snow day.
Yeah.
A rare Tuesday off for you.
No. I was glad to take it.
But the shipment came in early.
It depends on the week. Sometimes it comes in on Monday, but it's not for sale until Wednesday.
Well, lucky for you.
I like it when it comes in on Monday because it kind of slows my week down. I'm rushing less.
No.
If I have 2 days to work on, getting my stuff together before Wednesday versus just an afternoon.
Yes.
Yeah, it came in, made my life a little bit easier. And there's nothing really yet to say about this, but hopefully, fingers crossed, and stuff like this comes in and out, and it doesn't always work, but hopefully some big stuff will be coming through the store. I told you some guy came in last week, he's like, here's my copy of Amazing Fantasy 15, here's my Avengers #1, here's my first Thor. I'm like, oh.
All graded.
Yeah, like, you have some money here, sir. So we'll see. Hopefully I'm going to get them, but there's, no guarantees, but also it was just kind of a cool moment, because it wasn't like, oh, I have these at home, it was, here these are in my bag.
And you're like, oh, wow, I'm holding this.
Yeah. I've seen Amazing Fantasy 15 in museums behind bulletproof glass where you couldn't take photography. This dude's just like, here it is. I'm like, neat.
Well, there you go. Good for you.
Yeah, it was just a fun little thing. You don't usually, you might see one at a time or something, but it was just a solid stack of stuff.
I listened to Fantasy by Mariah Carey the other day. That's as close as I have.
I don't think I know the song.
You would know it. I'm not going to sing it because I don't want to sully Mariah Carey.
You don't want to sully the good name of Mariah Carey?
No, absolutely not.
Wasn't she the one who got in trouble for lip syncing on New Year's?
Everybody lip syncs on New Year's.
Like the Thanksgiving Day parade where it's all...
Most everybody say, yeah, that's also...
Some of them are better at it than others.
Yes. I was about to say something. Oh, have you heard of this concept called Whamageddon?
No.
So the object is to go as long as you can without hearing Wham's Last Christmas between the 1st of December and Christmas morning. If you do it, you win. You don't win anything other than you didn't have to listen to the song. So what I did to all of my classes that I had yesterday is I played that song. I trolled them. None of them knew what it was, but it got me some mentions on social media because I posted about it. I got called a legend by someone I've never met before.
Well, I guess you have to live up to that now, because what are we doing this week? We're going to dive into the news this week in comics history. A holiday-themed Marvel tale with some light racism. Or overt.
Well, that's 60s.
70s.
Whatever, Marvel.
Sports and your questions. Actually, this week's it's a cheat. It's a my question.
Oh, okay.
I got the idea on the internet. I was like, oh, that's a good one. I want to do that.
Okay.
So a little bit of a cheat.
So you're asking yourself a question.
I did. Well, I'm asking you too.
Oh, okay.
It's not me just asking myself. I just thought it was a good topic.
I like good topics.
So from there, let's just dive in, as we do each and every week, to the news.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
This is a light news week. This always happens around big holiday weeks. Because amazingly enough, on essentially a 5-day holiday weekend, no one's announcing things.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Sad.
It happens. Actually, I lied. Before we do the news, even though we've played the theme already,
Okay.
we don't have a theme for this one. Let's do our Mando Minute.
Oh, yes.
This is where we talk about The Mandalorian really briefly, because it's,
This is
out
the
in
way.
the world. Yes. Hey, guess what happened in this episode?
I have spoken.
He got in over his head and had to be bailed out at the last minute by someone else. Just like every episode.
Yes.
The streak continues.
He does take his helmet off, but you don't see him.
Yeah, I like that. Because there's that question of, like, how do you have dental hygiene or eat? The answer is, when he's alone.
He had kind of a mini love interest for a moment.
Yeah.
They almost blow up a village.
I like the ATST. I thought that was really cool.
Yes.
It was good.
Not the first time we've seen people on a planet surrounded by trees use primal weapons to take down machinery.
I know, it's a little silly when you have like Gina Carano's character. She's like, I've seen this ATSTs destroy entire platoons and kill hundreds of men. I'm like, I've also seen teddy bears destroy them.
This is true.
So, they're 50-50 on the intimidation scale.
Yeah, not very high.
And now Baby Yoda is becoming like a weekly meme. This one is like the soup drinking one.
I thought that was awesome. He tries to eat the frog.
He's vicious.
Well, he's hungry. He's a spry 50 years young. He's
kind of a monster. He held that ride in one place so it could get stabbed with a tiny knife. He keeps on eating animals whole while they're alive.
I've never eaten a whole animal alive before.
No, he's a monster.
Well, I mean, when he gets older, Baby Yoda has, a hot soup to look forward to.
He does like broth, apparently.
Mine. Some chocolate, a power bar, perhaps, that Luke had, and his little tackle box of snacks.
I'm still enjoying the show. It's kind of interesting. I have like the 4 that we've had. 2 of them already kind of feel like a little fillery.
I mean, how many were we supposed to get?
10?
10? So, the show has to be reaching its climax, its apex.
I mean,
crisis moment.
Yeah, I'm fine with this episode. I'm still enjoying them a lot, so there's not a lot to complain about. It's just something to enjoy. That was your Mando Minute.
Oh, I saw something on the internet that
Mando Minute +1
that you I'm surprised you didn't mention. There was a little internet scuttlebutt that people were upset that the Mandalorian could have been a woman.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, no, it was out there like, how do we know that the Mandalorian's not a woman? And if it is a woman, then grr, internet. It's like, no, he's a guy, and if it was a Mandalorian woman, then fine, so be it.
Well, I know that it's not a woman for 2 reasons. 1, played by Pedro Pascal.
Yes.
Number 2, the armor doesn't have some boob shapes on it.
It doesn't have breast holders.
Yeah, and there's not a midriff, as all female armor has.
That's not true.
This is well established in science fiction fantasy.
Just because...
You got to show your navel...
Just because Xena, warrior princess, showed her navel does not mean all warrior princesses have to do that.
Basically, every time
not
there's
true.
Been armor ever.
Not true at all. Black Widow doesn't show her navel.
No, but the very first Iron Man, there is a scene of her just getting naked randomly. Or Iron Man 2, the first one she shows up in.
Well, she's changing.
Yeah, and Favs is looking at her.
It's not really random. She's changing.
She also just could have showed up in costume.
Could have.
Oh, and there was an underwear shoot. That's how they introduced her.
Oh, yeah, that too.
All right, that's your Mando Minute. No, it's not a woman. Also, I don't really care. It's fine either way. If she was a woman, fine. We've also, I think, was it the armor maker? I think that was a woman.
Oh, yeah. Yes, she was.
You could tell by the midriff.
And the voice. I don't think she had a midriff. That is not the way.
Speaking of Star Wars, our script leaker has been revealed.
Oh, who was it?
Last week.
Was it Bodega?
It was.
Aha!
John Boyega leaked it.
Boyega. Boy!
Yeah, if you didn't hear last week, a Rise of Skywalker script, a legitimate one, made its way to eBay. And Lucasfilm shut it down, and it was revealed this week, or he came forward. He's like, yeah, I was moving at the time. I just left it under my bed because I was going out partying with the fellas.
Oh.
And while he was gone, his cleaning lady took it.
So Finn, Poe Dameron, and Kylo Ren out having a couple of blue milks.
I don't know who his friends are. They're probably not the guys that he goes to work with.
Those are the fellas right there.
I mean, they're fellas he knows. I don't know. I assume he has other friends. You know what? They might be all really tight. They also might not.
That's fair.
Screw it. Let's just stay on Star Wars. This is half Star Wars news this week.
Keep it coming.
I just like this one. In The Mandalorian, the first episode we saw Werner Herzog doing his, like, I'm an evil old Imperial, and I'm definitely some kind of Nazi running experiments. There was some concern about Baby Yoda, like if they were going to keep him as a puppet or if they were going to change him into CGI, and he called the producers cowards.
Oh, yes, because they did some screen tests with either or. I like that they left it as a puppet, though.
Me too.
Yeah.
It also it feels better that way. It's like in episode 1, regular Yoda was a puppet, and then in all subsequent releases, they made him CG. Dude, that puppet looked off, though.
I
don't know how they made it worse. Like, we've had 20-something years with this. Let's get a crappier version.
Yeah.
And right now, Rise of Skywalker is tracking to open at about $200 million.
Did you see the scuttlebutt about the poster?
No, apparently not.
The one with, like, people are trying to, like, it's like Kylo Ren's helmet, but there's hair and a face, and people are like, that's Obi-Wan's face. And other people are like, no, that's Luke's face.
Oh, no, I didn't see this.
What? You've not been keeping your finger on the pulse, man.
I'm sorry, it was a holiday weekend.
Let's see.
kind of already got most of my tweets out for the week. I mentioned some of the books I read and gave them quickie reviews.
There's the poster.
That hair does look weird.
The hair looks
coming out of the helmet.
The hair looks weird, but also the beard does kind of look like Obi-Wan a little bit, but it's not.
No, I'm sure it's just Mark Hamill.
Yeah. So, spoiler, he's probably in it.
Yeah, surprise.
Yes.
The guy who's definitely in the movie is on a poster.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, he wasn't on the poster for The Force Awakens.
True. Well,
he's barely in that.
They had barely found him. They didn't find him until the very end of the movie.
I just like that because that whole thing's like, where's Luke? Where's Luke? Well, the answer is because he's not in the movie.
Yeah. Where's Luke?
That's the reason he's not on the poster.
He's in the post-credit scene that really is the end of the movie, but should be a post-credit scene.
Yeah, Star Wars tracking 200 million, which is going to be less than Force Awakens and less than Last Jedi, which for the third film in the series makes sense.
But some of the test audiences say that's the third best Star Wars movie.
We'll have to see when it comes out. I mean, it's not that far away now. We're
A couple weeks.
Yeah, less than a month out.
Yeah, really 2 weeks from this week.
I got to do my rewatch. I haven't started that yet.
You might want to get on that.
Yeah, it's going to take me a while to get through all those movies.
All 8 of them.
All 10 of them.
Oh, you're watching Solo again?
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. It's right there. I rewatched it. Was it on? It must have been on Netflix. It's kind of dull. I don't think it really held up as well.
Yeah.
But whatever. I'll watch it a third time.
I would like to watch the Last Jedi again.
You own it.
I do own it. Well, I own the rights to stream it.
Oh, I thought you had it on Blu-ray.
No, I don't.
Okay. You positive? I thought I saw it at your house.
No, I have Force Awakens.
Okay.
When's the last time you were at my house?
I don't know. Probably feeding your cat.
That was a while ago.
This movie also came out a year ago.
Has it only been a year?
No, I guess two.
It's
2
been
years.
2 years, yeah.
Yeah. I've been to your house in the last 2 years.
That's fair.
To be fair, I don't want to go to your house right now.
Why not?
Your dirt road is always questionable.
Only in the spring. Only in the spring. It's actually quite passable. It's better than some of the side roads tonight.
It's frozen.
Yes. It's like ice road truckers.
And then 2 trailers dropped, with supposedly more on the way this week. I think a Bond trailer should have dropped by the time this episode comes out.
It's supposed to drop on Wednesday.
Yeah, so by the time this is out,
Yeah.
It'll be there.
I saw the teaser
Ghostbusters.
trailer.
I didn't look at it.
Oh, Ghostbusters trailer this week?
Supposedly. So I guess we'll see.
Aha.
Bond is a definite. Ghostbusters is a rumor.
What was the name of what's the name of the Bond movie? I can't remember. I like the name of it.
No Time to Die, is that it?
Something like that. I thought it was clever. Throwback to the old Bonds.
But we did get 2 trailers this week. What? Actually, they both looked good. First, we get the Crisis on Infinite Earths trailer, the 5-part TV crossover.
That looks like it's going to be good.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Like I said, it's going to be the best DC movie ever.
Yeah. I enjoyed the look of it. I haven't watched those shows in a couple of years now, and I didn't even see the last crossover, but I also know that they gave you a couple of things to grab onto. You see Kevin Conroy as Batman, you see Tom Welling back as Clark Kent, but they didn't give you everything. They've only released images, unless those guys are only in one scene each.
Well, isn't this is also the end of Stephen Amell playing Green Arrow, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the last year.
So he's totally dead.
I don't know. He might. I mean, in the original, because I don't think it's the end of the series, but I mean in the original Crisis, the Flash disintegrates and Supergirl dies, and they're both in this.
Oh, but which Flash?
Barry Allen.
Not your favorite.
No, but actually that's a good. Wait, we're not there for the segue. I'm gonna bring that up later in This Week in Comics History.
Oh, okay.
I like they're holding back on the Brandon Routh Superman though.
Save him.
We didn't see him at all, and I'm sure and we know there's a ton of other actors.
It's very into the Spider-Verse-y.
Oh yeah. I don't care. I just think it looks like a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to watch this. But I like it. This is a good use. Teaser is a very good word to use here.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit of everything. You're like, I must watch this.
But you still don't know the ins and outs of what's going to happen. It's not like watching a trailer where here's every story point.
Exactly.
I liked it. It was a solid trailer, especially for TV. TV never gets good trailers.
Who's responsible for this antimatter wave? Is it Darkseid?
The monitor's there to stop it. Who does it? I don't remember.
Oh. Looks like you have to go back and reread Crisis on Infinite Earths.
All 12 issues. But then the other big trailer is Black Widow had its first trailer.
Yes.
But she's dead.
Or is she?
No, she is.
Oh, yeah, she's totally dead.
This takes place after Civil War.
Oh. After Civil War, before the snap.
Yes, when she's on the run.
It looks fun.
Yeah, it was. They show a couple bits of action. I liked some of the hand-to-hand stuff they showed. I thought that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, where she fights with her sister.
Yeah, sister. I think just someone she was brought up with the Black Widow program with.
Yes. Who's the guy that's communist Captain America?
You basically got it down.
Oh, cool.
He's basically just Red Guardian. He is basically just Russia's Captain America.
Oh, okay.
There's been a bunch of them.
I just made that assumption because he was red.
Yeah.
Wearing like a Captain America-esque.
Yeah, no, Red Guardian.
Oh, well, good for me.
And played by David Harbour, who the last time we saw in a comic book movie, it was Hellboy.
Oh, yes.
That sucked.
It wasn't good.
I haven't seen him in a ton because I've never seen Stranger Things, but I enjoy him when he pops up.
Yeah, I mean, he looks
like
he's a good character in this.
Looks like he's mostly having fun with what he's doing in life.
Interesting kind of one of those like suspension of disbelief scenes where she's skydiving through the debris. Not sure how I felt about that, but
We'll see how it plays out.
I'll take it. I mean, she really didn't have a superpower
No.
other than being, Russian.
I think she's the same age as you.
Black Widow or
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson?
Scarlett Johansson.
She might be.
Isn't that depressing?
Well, LeBron James is also the same age. Actually, I'm older than LeBron James by a couple months. His birthday is in December.
Yeah, and you guys are losing hair at about the same rate.
Oh, wow. Let's see. Scarlett Johansson. Feel weird to just Google it randomly. It's also weird that when you start typing it in, the phone just knows that's what I'm looking for. Oh, let's see. Scarlett Johansson is 35. Her birthday was on November 22nd. I am 1 month older than Scarlett Johansson.
I thought it was funny when Will Ferrell was hosting SNL. There was a skit. I guess it was not a skit. It was Weekend Update. But Ryan Reynolds and Colin Jost were there. I'm like, look at all of her husbands.
She was never married to Ryan Jost.
She's engaged to Colin Jost.
Colin Jost.
And she was married to Ryan Reynolds.
Yes. And somebody else.
Yeah. But still, like 2 out of 3 were right up there. Like, this is a weird sketch.
Also dated Josh Hartnett.
Josh Hartnett?
Or whatever.
Taskmaster looks interesting. That is definitely a costume you need to update to make it work. It just can't be a talking skull face, because I just don't think that's going to work.
Which one?
Taskmaster.
Oh.
It's only a brief shot with, there was a couple shots, but the big one was with the bow and arrow.
Yes.
Taskmaster, of course, good at household chores, but also has a photographic memory and can mimic any kind of move you have.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's that character's whole deal. Big
Good.
assassin.
That's a very good
So he can
way to be an assassin.
has like the archery skills of Hawkeye, the shield of Captain America. I guess in this universe, the swordsman skill of, we haven't really seen a guy with the sword yet, but
Ronan.
he just has all the skills of Hawkeye.
Oh, it's Hawkeye with real power.
Yeah. But overall, I think it looks, I mean, what is there to say? The worst Marvel movies gets is, still pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
So I think that will be, at best, it'll be great. At worst, it'll still be probably pretty good.
I'll be like, I've enjoyed it. I think people are going to also wonder if there's a post-credit scene and if that leads into anything new coming out. Because, I mean, we're kind of, we're into phase 5?
4.
4?
This is the start of 4.
Oh.
I don't know. It's one of those things, just from a personal stand, it's kind of annoying when you're doing like a rewatch. Because like Captain Marvel did that leading anything into Endgame, but if you were doing a rewatch in chronological order, that would be the second movie after Captain America. But then if you wanted to watch that post-credit scene, you would need to hop back like 20-something movies later.
I'm sure somebody somewhere is creating the ultimate Marvel cut in which they just put everything in chronological order.
I don't think anyone's hard drive has the space for that, because they're up to movie 24.
Get some terabytes. You can definitely put it in the cloud.
But I don't do that. I don't believe in the cloud.
I see clouds every day, except for days that there are no clouds.
But that'll do it for the news, like short news week. But from there, we're going to move on to this week in comics history.
Superhero landing coming up.
This week in comics history.
We got some early ones in here.
Hop in the Wayback Machine.
Oh, we're going all the way back to 1939. When Fawcett Publication looked around and they said, you know what, that national publication, later to be known as DC, they're doing pretty well with this comic book thing. Maybe we should release our own. So they did. They introduced a character in Whiz Comics #1. Any guess who that is?
The Wiz?
No. Oh, did they make the... No, Marvel had the Wizard.
Oh. So wait, is this DC Comics #1?
No.
Oh.
This is Captain Marvel's first appearance, currently known as Shazam.
Ah, yes.
But the other names they threw around from originally before landing on that were Captain Thunder
It makes sense.
and Captain Marvelous.
Both work.
They ran into trouble, and that's why he's called Shazam now, though. That character just keeps running into trouble. In 1958, major Batman villain who would later go on to be redefined in the animated series, Mr. Freeze first appeared in Batman number 121, except he also had a different name. What are you smiling at?
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
Great. Originally, he was called Mr. Zero.
Oh, that's me. I'm Mr. Zero.
It's not as, I don't know, it's not as fun of a name as Mr. Freeze.
Well, I mean, first of all, we have to be using the Celsius scale for that to make sense, because Mr. Zero is the freezing point in the Celsius scale.
Yeah, I don't think they were using the Celsius scale in 1958.
I'm sure, well, it's existed for some time.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying in this children's comic book.
But can we talk about how much sense the metric scale and the Celsius scale?
Yes, it makes a lot more sense. We should have adopted it years ago, but
0
we're
is
never
freezing,
going to.
100 is boiling. What's wrong with that?
This one I mostly just wrote down because it's a fun name.
Oh, Mr. Zero?
No. In 1964, Daredevil's first arch nemesis, Mr. Fear, real name Zoltan Drago.
Oh, that's a pretty... It's like the Zoltar. Oh, Zoltar is different. That's from the movie Big.
In Daredevil number 13, how did Mr. Fear get his powers? This is a pretty incredible one. There's a reason I listed this one. I'm like, this is so stupid.
Well, I mean, with a name like Zoltan Drago.
He had a failing wax museum.
Zoltan's House of Wax.
So in an attempt to make wax figures become animated and become living things, he accidentally created a fear toxin.
Oops. What happens if I mix this and this?
Took a lot of twists and turns for him to get to Mr. Fear. What a stupid origin.
It's better than Plant Man.
I suppose.
There's no supposing about it.
And then also in Daredevil, I mixed up my Daredevil ones because I just said the wrong number for the last issue. Oops. In 1965, in Daredevil number 13, Vibranium made its first appearance.
Insane in the Vibranium.
Which, of course, has been well overused, and it's all over Marvel now. But yeah, first appearances in Daredevil.
It's the strongest metal on Earth. Wakanda forever.
Let's just stay with Daredevil. It's just all Daredevil. And Daredevil number 131 in 1975.
Is there anyone named Zoltan in it?
No, but Bullseye made his first appearance.
Ah, Colin Firth.
Nope.
Farrell.
Yep, that's.
I'm having a rough night with the names.
Colin Firth would have been a
Colin
weird
Farrell
choice.
is on something.
Colin Farrell's on. Yeah, he's been in stuff.
Yeah.
He's been in other things.
Colin Firth, though.
He's also been in things.
Whatever.
He had to make a speech. One time he had to...
That's right. He was the king's... Yeah.
He had to beat up some people in a church. He's done things.
He got shot by Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes. Then in 1982... this is a double, because these both happened in 1982 the same week. X-Men graphic novel. Marvel used to put out just Marvel graphic novels.
Marvelous.
And Chris Claremont put out God Loves, Man Kills, one of the most famous X-Men stories of all time that introduced Reverend Stryker and the Purifiers. It was loosely what X-Men 2
sounds like
is
a
based on.
Sounds like a wrestling group or a really bad cover band.
Reverend Stryker and the Purifiers.
Yes.
Originally, it was
going down to the bar tonight to see Reverend Stryker and the Purifiers.
Originally, this was a non-canon story, but it was so well received. They're like, guess what? Counts now.
Yeah, because Reverend Stryker's Purifier said it better.
Also this week in 1982, Hobgoblin was unmasked in Amazing Spider-Man number 238. It's a long-running mystery of who was it.
Which of the Osborns was it?
It was Roderick Kingsley.
Which of the Osborns is he?
None.
Oh, okay.
You never saw it coming. Those books, they're very well received, and they sell for a nice bit of money, too.
The Hobgoblin.
Yeah. And his reveal.
Because there's also the Green Goblin and the...
There's a lot of goblins out there.
Oh, the goblins. Ghosts and hobgoblins.
And then, as mentioned earlier, in 1985, in Crisis on Infinite Earths number 12, Wally West stepped into his mentor's shoes and became the Flash, mostly because Barry disintegrated, so the shoes were empty and a little full of dust.
Wow. How long did you come up with that joke?
I thought of it just now.
I'm proud of you.
But yeah, so Wally West became the Flash and remained from 1985 to like 2007, 2008.
And then who became the Flash?
Then Barry came back.
So you really didn't disintegrate for that long.
It's a good chunk of time to keep a major character dead for that long.
How did he come back from being dust? Did he make his shoes back?
He was in the Speed Force. No, his costume was there for some reason.
No, because Speed Force.
Yeah, probably because they didn't just want to have him running naked.
That would be a little wind chafage there.
Wouldn't be good.
Nope. Need to put some nipple cream on, like marathon runners do.
But that will do it for this week in pop culture. So going from Red Guardian to the Redskins, it's time for Jared Sports Reports.
No. Come on. You can do better than that. How about from Red Guardian to the Red Claws?
That one works too.
Yeah. I don't think we need to be calling people Redskins.
It's the team name. I didn't do
Yeah,
it.
but there's been controversy about calling them that for much longer.
Yeah, they probably shouldn't do that.
That's kind of a side topic in our comic this week, too.
Quiet down. We need to play the theme.
He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. Bare-chested. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. Oh, and they tackle him at the 40-yard line.
It's time for another Jared Sports Report.
All right, what the hell's happening?
Well, the panic button is being mashed up here in New England because the Patriots are, oh my God, 10-2, 17 straight seasons of 10 wins.
Oh, I didn't know they lost.
Yeah, they lost to the Texans. They almost came back and won.
Yeah,
They almost recovered an onside kick and had a chance to win the game, but a lot of people are...
They won't make the playoffs now.
Well, if they win against the Chiefs on Sunday, they make the playoffs. There's a lot of scenarios where they're probably going to make the playoffs.
I think yeah.
Unless they lose out and a whole bunch of other things happen. There is a scenario where the Buffalo Bills could win the AFC East. I'm going to the game on the 21st. That could be for the AFC East. Could be a playoff type game. Next to last game of the year before they play the Dolphins.
Bring your dildos.
No, because we're not in Buffalo. Bills Mafia, though, is going to be there in the we're tailgating, and I'm so excited to perhaps meet some members of Bills Mafia.
Great.
I'm bringing a table that I'm not endeared to in case one of those assholes decides to elbow drop it. So you've got
Plan
that.
ahead.
So everyone's, oh no, the Patriots are done, and Tom Brady's washed up. He's 42 years old. The receiving core just not getting the job done. There's a lot of flaws to this football team, but they're still going to make the playoffs, and they'll still find a way to maybe be in the AFC Championship game. But they have a lot of work to do. The Texans are not a bad football team, but the Ravens looking very impressive. They had a very good win against the 49ers, and what a lot of people think may have been the Super Bowl preview.
Yeah, 49ers are really good.
They're playing really, really well this year. So, and everyone was all freaking out about Jimmy Garoppolo for throwing a bunch of interceptions in the preseason, but he's been pretty solid. So there you go. Thurston 10 is above 500 in my fantasy league for the first time in a while. So good for me.
That's what people are here for. How's your fantasy league?
Yeah, I beat Major Disappointment this week. Is it Major Disappointment or somebody else? I can't remember. A couple weeks ago, I beat Micro Penis Strong.
Jesus.
No, he's not in the fantasy league.
Good. Don't besmirch.
No. Let's go on to some other news. Rob Gronkowski officially is unable to come back now. The deadline for players on the reserve list to file paperwork to play has come and gone. So there will be no Rob Gronkowski this year, so people can stop that, and people can shut up about Antonio Brown maybe coming back to New England. That's not going to happen either.
No.
Nor should it.
Also, why would Rob Gronkowski go back? He seems to be enjoying himself.
He's living
just
his
fine.
best life. He's dancing with the Laker girls.
Without getting just destroyed on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Why would he come back?
I don't know.
He's making a good chunk of money. He's enjoying himself.
Exactly. He's going to be during Super Bowl week, instead of potentially being holed up in a hotel and in team meetings and practicing every day, he's going to be at Gronk Party Beach getting absolutely hammered all week long. Good for him.
Yeah, I think he found the right path.
Yes.
For him.
He certainly did. Anyway, let's go to hockey and the red-hot Boston Bruins. They continue to lead the Atlantic Division. In fact, they're really the best team probably in the Eastern Conference right now. 19 wins. They have amassed 43 points. Granted, the Capitals have as well, but again, their goal differential continues to be absolutely amazing at a 34, plus 34. They're 8-0-2 in their last 10 games, have won 7 in a row, including a really tough game against the Canadiens in which they scored 2 goals in less than a minute with an empty net.
Good for them.
To tie the game up and then go on to win. I mean, yeah.
Insanity.
They're playing really, really well right now. So David Pastrnak already has over 25 goals. Good season.
Yeah, that season's rolling. I mean, they're a good chunk of the way through it.
Oh no, they're not even. They're not even halfway yet.
No, I was gonna say they got to be at least.
They're probably a quarter way in.
I think they got to be more. It could be closer to a third.
Let's see. What's the record? I'll tell you because they play 82 games. Let's see. They've played 27 games, so a little over a quarter of the way.
There we go. Both just looked at each other and a little panicked, I'm not going to do this math.
Well, listen, you own a business. You should be good with numbers.
I have a calculator.
I don't have a calculator. I have my brain.
It's not even true. I have a calculator app.
Ooh.
Not even a real calculator.
Yeah. What's the worst? Kids come and ask for help with algebra, and I'm like, y equals mx plus b. That's what I remember. Don't know how to apply it, but I know it's a thing.
Is that it? Are those your sports reports?
Well, I'm just waiting for you to add your Celtics report.
No, you can if you want.
Oh, I actually haven't followed them for the last week. I know they're playing really well, and they haven't lost a home game yet.
No, they haven't. Things are going fine.
Yeah.
The Kyrie thing came and went. He didn't play.
But he put on a long Instagram post. And
boy, that thing, that was 300 words.
Guess what? I didn't read any of them. You know why? Because it was probably garbage.
I mean, that was just adding fuel to the fire. Also, it was an Instagram story, so if you wanted to read it, you had to like hold your thumb there for the 17 minutes it took to get through it all.
Also, did you hear what KG said about him?
No.
Kevin Garnett said that Kyrie was not ballsy enough to play in Boston anyway.
But there's all these signs of like this guy's dressed up as Where's Waldo, and he has a sign that says Where's Kyrie with a picture of Kyrie with like a Where's Waldo hat.
Yeah.
A lot of Kyrie sucks chants. Where's Kyrie was another chant.
But the Celtics are a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. And like, he kind of made the situation worse with his Instagram post, but then they played the Nets the day after Thanksgiving, a noon game. They lost. Because, I mean, it was a noon game. Hate midday games.
Yeah, it is what it is.
No one ever plays well. But at the end of the game, you could see like Kyrie just, hugging people and talking to them. And there's people afterwards like, oh, he was like asking about my kids and stuff. Like, that's all he has to do. Don't put out your weird manifesto.
Exactly.
Just be a regular person.
Be the nice person you generally are.
Yeah. You keep on digging yourself into these weird holes. And then you don't understand why people are mad at you. It's because of the things you do. He's always like preaching this whole, like, I'm always going to speak my truth. I'm like, you don't. That was one of the issues.
I mean, you're more than welcome to your truth.
You didn't always speak your truth. That was one of the problems. But you don't seem to understand that that's not what you did. But
what about
whatever.
the truth, Paul Pierce?
Paul Pierce doesn't like him.
Oh,
He said he was going to deserve all the booze he gets.
Yes, I know Paul Pierce does not like him.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks. It wasn't a crazy exciting week. It wasn't a bad week. We kind of chugged along. They have their longest break right now, which is nice because Marcus Smart is diving on the floor every 3 seconds and getting kicked in the dick repeatedly. So he needs a couple of days of recoup time.
Well, I would need a bag of ice too. Some
Seriously,
peas.
He even had to address it like in a media scrum. He's like, I don't know why I keep on getting kicked in the dick.
Well, it happens.
It just keeps happening to him.
Let's see, what else can I add? Well, last thing to add, all of Maine, the Maine sports regular seasons kick off here at the end of the week. So Maine basketball and hockey and swimming and wrestling, all back.
And Taco Fall is injured for a week or two.
We talked about this last week.
Did we? I don't remember that.
Yes, we did.
Sometimes you say we talked about things, but then I think they were just conversations we had in real life, and you mix up when they happened.
It's probably true.
Because you've accused me, like we talked about this last week, I'm like, technically we did, but it wasn't on mic.
That's fair.
Sometimes conversations happen outside of this.
Sometimes. This is the first time in years that we didn't spend a major holiday together.
We spent the day after together.
Doesn't count.
Okay, sorry.
We spent the day after and the day after that, too.
That. But from there, it is time to move on. I forgot what we were doing. To a holiday-themed comic book for the month of December. The holiday-themed month. And a Jared's Reading Corner.
Yes.
It's Jared's Reading Corner.
This week we're talking about a book that started off so strong, kind of dipped some quality, and look, it's all over the place. But initially, this was a really great book. We're talking Marvel 2-in-1. And this is kind of a weird low. When I say it started well, it was good for like the first 12 issues. This is issue number 8 we're talking about, and this is kind of a weird anomaly of it's not that good.
Well, there was, again, the series of Marvel books where they were pairing the Thing up with lesser-known characters to make them relevant-ish.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Ghost Rider's still around. Believe me, a lot of characters that show up in 2-in-1
But in this
go away.
In this trade back of Volume 1, 2-in-1, you've got Thing and Iron Man, Thing and Man-Thing not really doing anything. Submariner, yeah. Daredevil, he went on to do big things. Captain America, big things. The Guardians of the Galaxy, big things. Doctor Strange, big things. Valkyrie, big things. Ghost Rider, big things. And let's see, of these 9, 7 of them have a movie.
Yeah, but there's also ones like him and
I credit the Thing for helping start the Marvel universe.
Okay, well, he technically did with Fantastic Four #1.
Well, there you go.
But when he's doing stuff like,
The Marvel Cinematic Universe.
The Thing and the Living Mummy, when it's stuff like that.
Well, is he really a mummy? If he's a living mummy?
Look, he kind of, I don't know, he really fell apart.
Yeah.
Whatever, let's talk this book. Written by Steve Gerber, pencils by Sal Buscema. It's a Christmas tale.
Yeah. What was it called? Santa's Sleigh? No, it was Night of the...
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah, but there was no killing in this that we know of.
I guess not. No, there's actually nothing deadly that happens in here.
And really, it should be just a Ghost Rider story, but they have to throw the Thing in for whatever reason.
That's a lot of 2-in-1.
Yeah. It's like, oh, by the way...
stories are happening, and I guess they're together.
It's like the Thing just finds himself in these situations like, for crying out loud. And
Actually,
that's fur with FER.
yeah. I
Because
really
that's like a
enjoyed 2 in
guarantee.
1.
Anytime I've read a Thing book, it's always for crying out loud, and it's usually within the first third of the story, and then the last third of the story kicks off with it's clobbering time. Those are 2 staples.
Something about his Aunt Petunia and what a revoltant development.
Yes, and also he's begrudgingly going to these places. It's like the character is like sentient, like, I gotta go carry another story with some other loser. Great, here we go again.
But Ghost Rider opens this tale up. Apparently he just got his soul back.
Riding across the Mojave Desert
Good for him.
on the skull cycle.
When he meets 3 wise men who are following a star in the sky
Yes.
to go to the birth of a child.
And they
also,
offer,
no one's really that affected by the fact that it's a man with a flaming skull.
yeah, in 1979,
74.
whatever.
No one really reacts to it,
No.
which is odd.
Well, I mean, they're riding camels in the California desert. Where did the camels come from?
But here's what's even much worse about this. So Ghost Rider refers to them as camel jockeys, which is either A, a term used for racing when you are riding a camel, or B, a racial slur against Arab people.
Yes.
But then we also find out they're Native American, so he called one group of people a different racial slur, which I think makes it worse.
The term Semitic is thrown in here, too.
That too.
Yeah, he said those weren't Semitic types.
What types are those?
So, yeah, there was definitely that.
That's so stupid.
70s age Marvel kits.
But yeah, apparently they're following a star in the sky because there's a new big bright star that just popped up.
Which prompts Reed Richards to pull out his telescope.
Yeah, there's a big Christmas party going downstairs. Johnny's getting kissed under the mistletoe by Medusa, which is weird because he dated her sister. And then years later, they have an actual relationship.
Good for Johnny.
Just weird. While Sue is getting sloshed on the eggnog.
Oh, yeah, she's serving it up.
She doesn't really leave that table. She's like, this is where I live.
Yeah, she's bobbing for eggnog.
Who has my son?
Give me back my son.
And Alicia Masters is there. And it's always strange when they're like, she's like, I'm excited to do this tree lighting with you guys. And like, but why? You're blind. It doesn't matter to you to be in the festive spirit. She's like, I can enjoy this too. Like,
She can feel it. She probably could hear it because when they light the tree, it actually like explodes pretty much.
Yeah, Reed set it up with like fireworks.
Inside.
It's kind of unclear what happened. Yeah, around his like small child.
Oh, did you see
and drunk Sue?
Did you see the viral video of like an indoor school production and somebody bought outdoor fireworks for it?
Oh no.
Oh yes.
That's not good.
No, it wasn't probably very good at all.
It's a bad call.
Yeah. Oops. Anyway, it made me think of that.
But Ben is just dying laughing. He's like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen, this explosion. I think he was also a little drunk.
He may have been hitting the nog.
Because, boy, did he think this indoor explosion was hilarious.
And then
so hilarious, he falls over and breaks things. So, yeah, I think he was a little sloshed.
He might be. Reed pulls him back into the lab and says, hey, look, my telescope found this. It's a map of the United States. There's an Indian reservation that this star is pointing towards.
He's like, the star is pointing towards Arizona. It's like, so I'm going to go there. And Ben's like, your wife is downstairs with your son at your own Christmas party. You should probably go be with them.
Probably correct.
And Reed's like, well, I guess I'll see you later. Have fun in Arizona.
Peace.
Ben leaves. Cool. What a just weird thing to stick him with.
Yeah. Here, you hop in the jet and just go.
Meanwhile, Ghost Rider arrives at this reservation in Arizona, and he opens a door. He's like, hey, why does this look like something from biblical times? So, like, there's no room left at the inn, and slammed the door. Also, don't react to the flaming skull.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it.
Only to find a mother and father with a baby
in a manger.
Yeah.
And this shadowy figure sends him via a wind tunnel column back into the desert.
Yeah, shoots a tornado at him. He's like, no one can do such a thing. I'm like, I feel like there's a lot of Marvel characters that can make tornadoes. I mean, there's the Texas Twister. That's all he does. There's Storm.
Yeah.
Like there's Thor.
Yeah.
Also, Texas Twister is a terrible character.
Whatever. Anyway, so while in the desert, Ben finds him somehow through...
Because his head's on fire. He's like, I'm going to go to that guy with a flaming head.
Oh, there you go. Deus Ex Machina. Anyway. But then the fine 3 wise men pull up and they're like, hold on, we're going to steal your costumes and your camels and ride into town so we can go closer to this baby.
I feel like that camel is going to die after a man made of orange rock jumps on his back.
I don't think he jumped. I think he climbed.
Either way, I think the weight is going to crush him to death.
Camels are a sturdy beast.
Okay.
Don't sell the camel short and stop calling Ben fat.
saying he's made of rocks.
Whatever. I'm made of me, and I am just fine. I'm trying to defend Ben here.
Are you worried about your weight distribution on a camel?
Haven't ever ridden a camel. I'd like to ride a camel. That'd be kind of fun.
Have I ridden a camel? I'm going to give that a solid maybe.
Well, I mean, you grew up near the desert of Maine.
Well, just when circuses were a thing, I could see a world where I did that.
I mean, I've ridden horses and ponies.
I've ridden a couple elephants. That's why I don't want to say
What?
camels likely.
I guess so. You're a regular safari man over here.
One was at a fair, one was at the circus.
What, at the fair?
The Big E down in Massachusetts.
What the hell fair are you going to? There's a friggin' elephant.
I just told you.
I see that, but I've never heard of this. The Big E, the big elephant fair, is that what this is?
No.
Oh.
That's why I was with someone at the time. I'm like, oh, it'd be like...
Well, I hope you weren't riding this elephant by yourself when you were young, just walking around elephant fairs.
Like, oh, it'd be cool to get a photo. It would just be a fun photo of us, like, on an elephant together. There was, like, extra money if you wanted to do that. But they're like, no, you can't ride it alone. You have to ride it with this other family. I'm like, well, I don't want a picture of that. And then in hindsight, I'm like, that would have made the photo so much better.
Yes.
Get a framed photo of me and some random family on an elephant.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Oh, Zach was picked up by the Bedouins here.
But yeah, so they go to town and they find that this isn't just a naturally occurring thing.
No, somebody's creating this.
That super famous Fantastic Four villain who almost never shows up because he sucks.
Well, then see it in living color here. Miracle Man.
Yeah.
See, Miracle Man doesn't sound like a villain. It sounds like a good guy. Like, man, I need a miracle. Where's Miracle Man? Not, oh, look at this terrible thing that's happening. What a miracle.
His powers are he can kind of do whatever he wants, but considering the Fantastic Four also have the Molecule Man, I guess one of them had to fade into obscurity, who can also do basically anything.
Which is a total waste of his powers.
But, yeah, so they fight. He loses his powers at one point because of Ghost Rider, and Ghost Rider doesn't know what happened. And later on, he's like, I think Satan assisted me at that moment. I'm like, so in this world, Satan helped new Jesus.
Yeah.
Weird.
Well, his rationale was because if he died doing something good, then Satan would lose the soul of Ghost Rider.
Look, amazingly enough, they beat the Miracle Man, and then everything disappears the way it was, except for this child who was created with immaculate birth, and everyone just kind of...
Miracle Man, he just kind of conjured up a child.
He created life.
Well, I mean, you said it yourself. He could do anything.
I mean, old Zoltan Drago can't even make a wax figure move, but this dude's just out there making
don't
babies.
sully the good name of Zoltan Drago.
That's insane. And also, no one makes any big deal of it. They're just like, there's a baby here now. And
they're like, he's a ward of the tribe.
Yeah, Wyatt Wingfoot, Johnny's best bud from college, is there. He's like, yeah, we'll just take him.
Wow. Wyatt Wingfoot.
That's his name.
Like John Proudstar?
Oh, he dated She-Hulk for a long while.
Wow.
Good times.
Just feel like I've said it before, like just such very generic Native American names. Like they take like some sort of, they take like an animal and a planetary thing, or they take, an adjective and a body part, and that's how the Marvel Native American names come. Like you could be like Zach Swift Hair.
But on the cover, they said this is easily the most offbeat holiday extravaganza of all time. It's mostly weird.
Yeah, it was offbeat, that's for certain.
Also, why was that star pointing at Arizona?
Because, I mean, Miracle Man he said he was trying to like solve the key to immortality and create a messiah, so he was trying to recreate all of the Jesus birthday story.
Yeah, the whole thing, it feels strange. There's some weird comments thrown out there, which, yeah, I know, written at the time, blah-de-blah.
Yes.
And then I guess new immaculately born Jesus is saved by Satan, which is strange. And then there's something also about, like, diminishing returns, like Jesus born of immaculate birth, and this other kid, I guess, in Arizona.
Yeah.
So, like, oh.
Steve from Arizona.
That's really undercutting that story a bit now, isn't it?
Well, it's offbeat. All right.
The art's fine. I mean, Sal Buscema, he's kind of delivering what he does, which is usually pretty good.
So, using our typical holiday scale, on a scale of 1 to whatever, using whatever Christmassy holiday thing, how holiday-ish
would you give this a ho-ho-ho or a ho-ho-no?
How about a ho-oh-no?
I'm also going to say ho-ho-no on this
one. No, I like mine better, like ho-oh-no. Yeah, it didn't... Yeah.
I wouldn't be leaving out milk and cookies for this book.
There you go. This is a fruitcake. But some people like fruitcake, so I guess we can't really tarnish fruitcake. This gets a lump of coal.
Whatever weird pre-cooked cookies that came from the Christmas tree store, it's that.
You can get some.
You didn't really want it, but you got I guess, a nice tin.
Those don't hate on Danish sugar cookies. Those are really good, especially the ones that are from Denmark, from the Christmas tree store. Those are prime. They're good tea dunkers.
Ugh.
What?
No, they're gross and dry.
You're getting the wrong ones. You got to get the blue tin.
I'm not getting any of them.
I'm buying you one for Christmas.
I don't want it.
Too bad. You're getting it.
You'll forget in 10 minutes.
No, I won't. I don't forget every week what I'm supposed to say at the end of the show.
But yeah, that's this one. It's a...
I feel like you're challenging me to buy you a tin of
I don't want
blue.
it.
All the more reason for me to get it for you.
Great. We'll be doing some, I think, more...
I'll even put a bow on it.
I don't know. This one just doesn't have the Christmas spirit. The other ones we're going to do, this one try to think really do. And this one just kind of falls flat on... It wasn't a great story, and it didn't feel very Christmassy despite being set at Christmas and retelling the Christmas story.
Yeah, it was not good. Doesn't do it for me.
Moving on from there to my letter to the editors.
A letter to me.
Now for my favorite part of the show. What's that say? Talk to the audience. Oh, God, this is always dead.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
If you want to ask us your own questions, and believe me, we could always use more, you can write us in at editorsnotecomics@gmail.com. Write whatever you want. Ask a question.
Yes, please do.
But this is one that I saw, and I thought, oh, that might be a... So I guess it was inadvertently asked by, I think I saw someone do a thing on Twitter. And then I thought, yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
As we were going into 2020, I think this was a top 10. I just made it top 5.
Okay.
What are the top 5 comic book movies of the decade?
Why wouldn't you save this for the year-end show?
Because I saw it on Twitter this week.
That's a very good question for the end of the month show.
Too bad. We're doing it now.
Top 5 in order?
No, I wrote mine down, so I don't have to think about this too much.
Why wouldn't you give me some advance on that, dickhead? Top 5 of the decade. Let's go. Infinity War.
That didn't make mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Let's reset.
It's fine. You can have your own list.
Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, and probably Wonder Woman.
Interesting. I didn't have a single one of those on my list.
There you go. Well, that's just me thinking off the top of my head.
These in no particular order. Logan.
Oh, shit, yeah. Let's delete Infinity War for Logan.
Yeah, I like everything about that movie. I could sit down and watch that movie any given day.
Yes.
My most recent one, Into the Spider-Verse.
Top 10.
I really like that movie. Actually, most of these are towards the latter half of the decade, but that's fine. Thor Ragnarok.
Oh,
that
yeah.
movie is just so much fun.
That is a very metal movie.
Yeah, that's another one. I just love every bit of that movie. It doesn't really have a slump in it. It's just kind of bananas top to front.
Yes. So you can slide that in there for Civil War.
Guardians 2.
I like Guardians 1 better.
There are parts of that movie I like a lot, but I think the overall story of Guardians 2 I think is a little bit stronger, and I think
they're both very equivalent movies. Let's just say that.
And although some Marvel movies do have emotional beats, certainly, but I think this is the one, like, its core is it's kind of emotional content, and it builds out from there.
Yeah.
And again, these are in no particular order, but I'm still going with this as kind of the one, as I'm going with the first Avengers.
Oh, yeah, that's a good movie. It's a solid ensemble movie.
That movie is just solid top to front. I love the character introduction. Top to front. Yes, that's an expression.
Holy horse piss.
But I like all the way the characters are rolled out. I love the way that it's shot. I mean, the musical theme when everything kind of comes together at the end of that last big fight, which is, it's kind of nothing, but it is just a fun spectacle to see. But just, the assembling of the team, I really enjoy. Versus Infinity War and Endgame don't feel like complete movies on their own. It doesn't have quite the emotional resonance of the first Avengers. I mean, there's the big thing at the end of Endgame where, but that's like you had to sit down through like 20-something movies to get there.
I'm surprised you didn't put Winter Soldier on your list.
It's very good. I like that movie a lot, but it's not top 5.
All right.
I don't know. What your list got revised like 3 times. What is it now?
I forget. I think we had Logan in there. I put in Logan, and what's the other one I put in?
You said Wonder Woman.
I said Wonder Woman, Thor Ragnarok. So those 3. I just want to kind of combine like Endgame and Infinity War into one movie because they really are. So I'm going to say they're one movie. I'm going to rewrite the rules for myself.
1
And
7
Civil
hour
War.
movie.
Not Civil War, Winter Soldier. There you go.
Good solid movie.
Mm-hmm. All right, is that it for the letter?
That is it for the decade.
Awesome.
Top 5 of the decade.
Well, there you go. If you like the show and want to help us out, go to patreon.com/editorsnotecomics. $1 a month gets you this show a whole day early. Lucky you. Plus, spoiler and spoiler-free reviews of the weekly releases of Buffy, Firefly, and Angel. Those are Patreon exclusives. You can't get them anywhere else. Plus, the occasional Buffy back issue bin.
Yeah, another one of those coming out this week, and that'll be out a week early.
See, I could sense using the power of my mind that was happening soon.
Or because you heard a conversation upstairs earlier about it.
I use the power of my mind. You can also visit Zach at his store 210 Water Street in Hollowell. The 40% sale is over. Sorry. The 12 days of Zachmas have started.
But now, hey, you still got to buy Christmas gifts.
Yeah, so it's the 12 days of Zachmas.
So just keep shopping.
Yeah, I don't know
And
what
maybe
that
if you
means.
maybe if you walk in one day, you'll just see an Amazing Fantasy 15 just kicking around loose for some reason.
I don't know if
Because that happens from time to time.
I don't know if I would keep that in the store when you're not there, though.
It'd be covered by insurance.
Yeah, but imagine if like you're letting someone else cover the shop and like they sold it for way less than it was worth.
I mean, with the CGC stuff, that stuff's like they all have their own. You couldn't really turn that easily because they all have specific numbers and everything with them. So that you could steal it, but it'd be hard to turn because everything is specified.
Well, no, I'm not saying like what if your shop burned down, or I'm just saying like what if someone was covering the store for you and they sold that for like dirt?
No, there'd be a price tag on that one.
Oh, a very large price tag.
Yeah,
like multiple numbers.
I don't know if my price gun has that many numbers.
Oh wow. Have to make a handwritten one.
Yeah.
Stick it right on the front of the label, too. Was worth. Best offer. Let's see. What else are we getting? Oh, on the internet, editorsnotecomics.com, plus Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Yep. And you have your own Twitter.
I do. At Junior Rich.
If you want to see a man live tweet a football game.
That's exactly. Well, there's other things I tweet about occasionally, like Whamageddon.
Because I never watched the Patriots game, so...
You don't have to. You can just follow my Twitter feed.
It is funny when I see I'll see like other, like, I just see like the same thing pop up from just like 6 different sources all at once.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm bummed because like the third year in a row I've missed Rudolph on TV and I've been wanting to live tweet Rudolph forever.
I'm sure it'll be back again.
Well, maybe I'll sit down and watch it and live tweet it, although it won't be the same time as everyone else is, so I won't get as many views.
Yeah, okay. So just search for it. You have YouTube TV. Just
No, I'm just saying that. No, it was last night. It was on Monday night.
I'm sure they're going to show it more than once.
Let's hope so.
In the month of December.
I do love Rudolph. I love all those. We've well established that you're a friggin' Scrooge.
Yeah, the Rankin Bass stuff.
It's fantastic.
It's just plain
I'm
rank.
Mr. Heat Miser.
All right. That'll do it for this week. Next week, definitely more Christmas cheer. We're coming in with more of it. It's going to be, I don't know, like a warm apple cider or something.
Ooh, I do love a warm apple cider.
And certainly less alcoholic than Sue's eggnog.
Oh,
I was sloshing down.
You know, I do like a good holiday nog myself.
It's too thick. I can't do eggnog anymore.
Oh, that's wonderful. Eggnog with a little dash or something.
For a long time, I used to do eggnog Kahlua with a little nutmeg on top. Now that's
damn right. There it is, right there.
That's just, it's too thick.
Actually,
now.
I have eggnog at home. Maybe a little nightcap.
If you want.
I have all 3 of those things at my house.
You're an adult, so you can really make that choice for yourself.
You know what else is really good? Coffee and Bailey's on Christmas morning.
Yeah. Usually if I mix something with coffee, it's Sambuca.
Well, you can have your Sambuca and I'll have my Bailey's.
Oh, what are you doing Christmas morning?
I figured I was coming over here.
Oh, yeah, we are doing a thing.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Because I'm doing Christmas Eve with the family, so.
Okay, great.
No, I'd already planned on that. That's when you're going to get your blue tin of cookies.
Boo. All right, we'll be back next week
and
for
the
more
cheese and crackers.
For more Christmas.
Stay classy, cool cats. No, stay classy, space cats.
Great. Bye.